It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Vikings and the Ravens, and it's coming up next.
Autumn has arrived in the Mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., and it is a glorious afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses. Kirk Cousins of the Vikings, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens.
And I think for me, and this isn't an original thought by any stretch, and probably for these two head coaches as well, the key for them is going to be limiting the turnovers, limiting the free possession. I mean, this isn't saying anything you don't already know, but you've got to be able to make the most out of your drives and see if your defense can help you out and take the ball away from the other team and give you a few extras.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and fourth as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And what really attracts people to him? A passionate leader, controls a huddle really well, controls the locker room, and also throws with anticipation and accuracy, especially evident when he throws the deep ball.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. If they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Second and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins, he'll dump this off to Cook. Despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
The best numbers that Lamar Jackson possesses is that his team wins the vast majority of games that he starts at quarterback. But in addition, 2,900 yards rushing in his career. They know how to build around him and play to his strengths.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Jackson running again. First down and more for Jackson. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson, what more can we say at this point? He is a living, breathing highlight reel. And go ahead and tack on that last play to the list of big ones by number 8.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit, because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Calais Campbell on the stop. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On play action, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They start the drive with Cook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. 2nd in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They run, Cook, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Second and 11 now. Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Tyus Bowser able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And Sammy Watkins is in his 8th NFL season, spent the last 3 in Kansas City and won a Super Bowl there. Really excited about the opportunity to bond with quarterback Lamar Jackson
Makes a nice catch there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now it's Jackson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, and that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Oh, a terrific play there by Harrison Smith. And one thing you always get comfortable with going into a game, his smarts and his ability to be around the ball. He tied his career high with 5 interceptions last year. Another one goes to his total.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The results for them so far, not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Handoff comes to Cook, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Gets past one man. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. He only has a single solo carry. 1. Numero uno. 2nd quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. From the gun, it's Jackson. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Open man is Duvernay. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Middle. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Record.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. A screen to Bell. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. That catch good for only a couple.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one goes for 24 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Now Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Joseph's got it. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Joseph now to kick this one away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. On the return is Duvernay. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be out right at the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. Finding some room at midfield. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
On first down, Murray fighting him off, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has a total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. This is caught. Touchdown! Hollywood Marquise Brown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 55 rushing yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. In to make the stop, Patrick Queen, the linebacker, the Ravens' leading tackler in 2020.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
Still in search of their 1st touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Cousins now. And this will be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain, or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. Big hole up the middle, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. To throw is Cousins. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Pernell McPhee always always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The kick by Joseph is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
The return is Duvernay.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins, his throw incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Cook a first down and more. And down to the 28-yard line. 93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. 1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Madison. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tyus Bowser getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown Vikings. Adam Thielen there to make the grab. And the Vikings have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Cousins will try and throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down now, it's Murray into the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On 1st down, Murray. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they'll indeed take a knee. Again, Jackson will keep it. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.